Love your neighbor. Love your neighbor. What is love? What does love mean? How do I know if I love my neighbor? And only Jesus gives us perfect example of love in the Bible. This is from St. John 13:34. A new commandment I give you, that you love one another as I have loved you. So this is perfect love, that we have to love one another the way Jesus loved us. And how Jesus loved us? He laid down his life so that we may have life everlasting through Jesus. St. John 15:12. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love than this no one has, that one lay down his life for his friends. So this is true charity. In this we have come to know his love, that he laid down his life for his friends, which are us. And how do we know if we are friends of Jesus? Well, Jesus tells us, you are my friends if you do the things I command you. And what does Jesus command us? The Ten Commandments. All Ten Commandments. We have to obey the Ten Commandments. And that's how we become friends of Jesus. How do you know if you're a disciple of Jesus? By this will all men know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. So if you have love from your heart for one another, for any other, any neighbor, any person that you have conversation, you meet on the street, in your family, your wife, your children, in your work, in the traffic, in your daily encounter. If you have love for that person, that means that love comes from Jesus, because you became his disciples. Let us then love one another. If anyone says, I love God, but hates his brother, he is a liar. Because how can you love God whom you don't see, if you don't love your neighbor whom you can see? So this is the commandment. Love your God and love your neighbor as yourself. And what does love your neighbor mean? Obey the Ten Commandments. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. Don't bear false witness. Honor your father and your mother. And you shall not desire anything that belongs to your neighbor. So this is how you know that you are a friend of Jesus and disciple of Christ, if you love God and if you love your neighbor, obeying commandments. And perfect love is if you sacrifice your life for the benefit of your friends. Beloved, let us love one another. Love your neighbor, for love comes from God. And everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. If God has so loved us that he sent his only Son so that we may live through him, let us then love one another. Because no one has ever seen God. But if we love one another, which we can see, that means that his love is perfect in us.